What did you think about when they started talking about the oversight of TWU and with with possibly them doing it or Riverbend doing it or somebody having the oversight of that? How did you feel about that personally? From your perspective as the mayor, how did you feel about that?
Well, what they're not talking about oversight of TWU.
Okay.
They're talking about oversight of their asset.
I see, of the
New Boston Road plant.
Okay.
And that's where it gets confusing, and it's easy. It's easy if you say one wrong thing or explain it wrong, then it goes in a whole different direction.
That's right.
But what they're talking about is the oversight board of their asset. Now, one of the options that one of them brought up was create an oversight board of the asset, New Boston Road Water Treatment Plant.
Sure.
Make sure that they understand what's going on with it, and they feel comfortable with how it's being operated. Is it being operated efficiently? All that. Now, that board then would contract TWU for services to run the plant. I mean, that was the idea that was brought up. In the paper the next day, it did say that one of them said, have an oversight board over TWU. That has nothing to do with those member cities. That's between Texarkana, Texas, and Texarkana, Arkansas.
Do you ever see a day where that could be an option? Because, you're a business guy, and it is hard having two bosses.
Absolutely.
It is hard, and it's very difficult to negotiate that, especially when you get politics involved in it. Do you ever see that happening one day, that we could possibly have a board that oversees TWU?
I think that's, in my opinion, that's the only way you're going to solve it. It works in so many other areas. In our city specifically, it works with the airport. We have a board over the library. I mean, it just makes sense to not have elected officials messing with it. Put experts on there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who likes who. Each city can appoint 2 or 3 members. The challenge will be finding who's going to appoint that tiebreaker.
Sure. The
airport doesn't even have a tiebreaker. It has 4 board members, each appointed, 8 board members, 4 and 4 from each city. But we've talked about that. We're in 100% agreement that needs to happen, and I think soon, hopefully, you'll at least see. It's my hope that we can work something out to where we can send to the Arkansas side and say, would you agree to this?
Yeah.
Because a lot of citizens have called me and asked me, please put a board over this so we can get away from this, because it takes up too much time.
Sure.
Everybody's not only they're stuck in the mud, but we're wallowing in the mud in some instances, and the problem just needs to be solved. And I think that I think the best thing to do would be to appoint a board.
Yeah.
I know that I feel pretty certain, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I feel pretty certain that our board would be unanimous that they would feel very comfortable delegating the authority to a board. Now, you would want to make sure that water production was not in that. And I don't really know how to separate it other than that board could contract with those member cities to run the plant.
Sure.
And obviously that would be a great tool. I mean, you heard them the other day say that, TW, the personnel of TWU, they have no problem with. They just have a problem with the management of TWU. The member cities do.
Sure.
And rightfully so. I mean, we spent $2.4 million arguing over a lot of things.
Yes,
and one of the issues was the management.
Yeah.
So right, wrong, or indifferent, they do not trust the management. And, but no one is advocating that you just create a whole nother, no one's advocating that Riverbend takes over anything.
Yeah.
Riverbend's not going to take over anything. Riverbend wants to stay as far away from TWU as they can, because it's 2 separate issues.
Sure.
That over the last few years has gotten mingled into one. And that's the challenge that we have. And we have to make sure that we are constantly out in public. We're constantly having the town hall meetings, having the joint, the workshops we did the other night. When Riverbend gets on track, and what he's doing now is he is reviewing all the contracts, looking at all.
He being Clyde Seidman?
Clyde Seidman.
Yeah, okay.
He's reviewing all the contracts. He is getting up to speed. And then he's going to come in and he's going to have meetings with all the cities. We've got to do the town hall meetings for the water studies and all that. But I think the most important thing is every chance we get, we have to get it out in the public and talk about it. Nothing is sacred.
Sure.
And just constantly talk about it.
So then this is the final question for you. What do you see Riverbend's role in water in this area being here in the near future and for years down the road here?
Protect our water, protect our resources, find a way to build a water treatment plant that does not cost the taxpayers anything.
And you guys are not determined yet where that's going to go, right?
No, it is not determined. It's not even close to determined. I mean, we have not seen the study. We haven't had the town hall meetings, none of that. But figure out how to, use our resources to to help save us money. We have I think the number I saw, 2 million gallons. I think it was 2 million gallons a day going underneath the dam down to Red River and Shreveport. I mean, that's what they're talking about selling. They're not talking about selling water rights.
Yeah.
They're talking about selling water that we don't use now.
Sure. Might as well make money off of it.
Yeah, make money off it if you can. And all of the fears and questions can be addressed in contracts. So you protect, the number one purpose of Riverbend is to protect our area, protect our rights, the water rights and resources. But, the other job is raise the lake 10 feet and let's see how we can make a deal that benefits everybody. And the last thing that Riverbend is charged to do, and when we all met a couple weeks ago with Clyde when he first came to town and introduced himself, was we want every single city in this entire area to benefit from it equally. And that was, that's been the problem all along. And I think the more and more we talk about it, when Clyde comes to town and gets everything situated, I mean, you're just going to have to prove to a lot of people that that's exactly what's going to happen. Because I know there's a lot of fears, there's a lot of speculation.